The following program contains adult language, poor taste in jokes, racial slurs, political slurs, slants, and all sorts of things that, if you are sensitive and have a delicate constitution, you should probably go watch Teletubbies. You were warned.
I ain't drunk, I'm just drinking.
But you're so high.
Oh man, you know I ain't high.
But you're so high.
Yeah, well I just take a little sip every now and then.
But you're so high.
You ought to be ashamed of
Stay
yourself.
drunk all
Oh,
the
come on now,
time.
you all don't feel like that.
Bam! Hey kids, welcome back. Happy Monday night, if there is such a thing. Good night. Anyway, I have not done a rant in a really long time, and I decided I'm going to clean my desk, my workbench, whilst we talk. Yeah, just absolutely crazy. A couple of things I want to get straight right off the bat, and those are, one, two of the biggest questions that I get are, how do you make a roto twister? And I was going to be funny about it and do a build video of how to make a roto twister, but I decided not to. How do you make a roto twister, and how do you set up a headhunter like this one in Betaflight or Butterflight, depending on your flavor? And very simple answer. A wannabe roto twister is 100 proof rum. I use Sailor Jerry's, and use like cherry 7-Up. Bam. 2/3 rum, 1/3 cherry 7-Up. Boom. Forget about it. Stick some ice in there. Fucking smoke it. That's how you make a roto twister. How I usually make one actually is Sprite, 100 proof Sailor Jerry's rum, and a little bit of 100 proof, like a strawberry Kool-Aid type of thing, but cherry 7-Up's actually better. So yeah, that's how you do that. Very easy to do. One of my other favorite drinks, actually, is there's two types of Southern Comfort, and a lot of people don't know this. And when I used to be a hard drinker, which is not anymore, believe it or not, I used to drink 100 proof Southern Comfort. Now, that is not the normal throw-up Southern Comfort, the brown label 75 proof. This is 100 proof black label Southern Comfort, and it actually is much, much better than normal Southern Comfort because it goes down like... it's not as sweet, not as tart. But one of the things that I love to do, I used to drink 100 proof Southern Comfort and chase it with 100 proof rum and, roto twister. I don't do that anymore because I'm respectable. But you believe that, right? But one of my favorite drinks in the summertime, and you guys gotta try this. Take some strawberry. No, I'm sorry, it's not strawberry. That's a roto twister. Take some lemonade. Like good old-fashioned lemonade concentrate, and don't use that pink shit. Use the yellow shit. Normal lemonade and 2/3 normal Southern Comfort, the 75 proof or whatever it is, brown label shit, and 2/3 SoCo, 1/3 lemonade, and put it in the freezer. And let it freeze for a few hours. And what it does, even if you freeze it overnight, it turns into like a slush. And it's so fucking good. You can't even taste the alcohol, and it fucks you up. It's awesome. Love it. I have a lot of friends that don't drink, and they're just like, JJ, dude. And I'm like, I know. Yeah, it's just whatever. And the other thing, like I said, was how do you set up a headhunter on Betaflight or Butterflight? And you don't. There is absolutely no difference in the setup between a headhunter and a normal quad. So, all you guys out there that want to know, and I have a zillion of these things, this is my buddy Motor Mike's that I built him. You guys just saw the pop test for, and I've got millions of them. But anyway, and then we got the Witches, which is the Jadinas with the inverted prop. Same principle as a headhunter. You don't set it up any different. Set it up like a normal bird. Do not put the props on upside down. You know how when you put your props on, little bumpy bits are right side up? Same thing with the back. Make sure the bumpy bits are right side up. Bam, and you'll be perfect. The motor direction still spins the same way. There is no difference. Don't let the upside down motors fool you. That's a misconception. People screw this up all the time, and no, a headhunter is set up pretty much the same way as a normal bird. Now, I had a conversation, not really a conversation, but I exchanged a couple texts the other day via YouTube with a buddy, and he said something about undisturbed airflow and blah, 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 blah. And, and even with Mocha, when he designed the Simplex Pro, we'll take number one here. Number one's one of my main birds, right? When he designed the Simplex Pro, he has, the motors are supposed to be up here, okay, not upside down like a Headhunter. And he's like, well, you know, you get clean air. Here's my theory on that. This is nothing against Mocha. He's a great friend of mine. I love him dearly. But everybody's like, Headhunter, you know, why do you do Headhunters? Headhunters seem to get better battery life. They fly perfect. They're insane. Mocha JJ, seriously, build one of these things like I build them, and if it doesn't blow your fucking mind, tell me. I'll be amazed, because like 100 miles an hour sitting in your hand. But anyway, think about the undisturbed airflow, okay? So if we're looking at this from a parallel aspect, right? And you're flying, quads don't fly like this. Airplanes fly like that. Quads fly like this, okay? Now, if you're me, see my camera angle is about 70%, 75 degrees. I fly like that, okay? There is no undisturbed airflow. Whether you're flying a campfire quad, which would be the same principle, like this, you're getting fresh air across the top, fresh air across the bottom. Same thing with Headhunters. Now, if you're talking hovering, okay, which none of us fucking do with a quad, but if you're just talking hovering and floating, okay, fine. I buy the undisturbed airflow bit, because these would be up here, and yeah, to a point. Even then, I don't buy it. But, so, getting back to the point, the Headhunter thing, set it up like a normal bird. Do not flip your props upside down. Bad things will happen. All the props turn the normal way, and they all go right side up. So, please, don't screw that up. You'd be yelling at me like, JJ, you suck. I'm like, yeah, I know. Yeah, so these are some oh my gods or whatever. Hype train oh my gods. My brother Mikey gave me, and love him. Great guy. Anyway, I'm gonna put these on something. I don't know what. I'm gonna build a 6 or a 5.5 inch build, I think. Let's see, and it's been a busy week. My mom came down for the weekend, and so that shot my weekend, and then I built my build-off bird that I'm doing with my buddy Twitch in the club. Now, you guys haven't seen this yet, but the entire bird is completely built, and the build video is completely built, and it's absolutely fucking insane. It's an amazing bird. It turned out so nice. But the boys and I in Patriot Blades, we're sitting there talking the other day, and my buddy Space and somebody else, Maui, I think it was, in Hawaii, they start talking, let's have a dipping contest. Who can do the best hydro dip? And Space, which is my brother Pete, he's probably the best hydro dipper in the club. He's better than me. Phenomenal. And Maui's going to get into it, and a few of the other guys probably. And they're like, let's have a dip build off. And I'm like, all right, you know. So then I get to think about it. And I brought this up last winter, and I think the guys in the club, they see all the shit I do. You guys that watch my channel, you see some of the stuff I do, but what you see on the channel is about 1/8 of what I actually do during the week. So as far as quad builds and things of that nature. So I just threw it out there. I said, I want to have a build off with somebody. You know, fuck hydro dip. I don't care about that. I want to do a build off. And my brother Twitch, who is actually Joe, I affectionately call Joey, out in New Jersey, he's like, fuck it, dude, I'll do a build-off with you. So, of course, it starts off as this, like, really competitive, well, who can make it lighter, who can make it faster, who can make it do this and that, whatever. And then, of course, it turned into, let's just build some cool quads for a good price, you know, type of thing. I'm not good at building on a budget. You know, I'm very spoiled. And you guys see a lot of the builds that I do, and I sell a lot of the builds I do. I do not spend thousands and thousands of fucking dollars a month building quads. A lot of times my stuff is sold before it's even built. So I'm very fortunate for that. So anyway, my brother Joe, Twitch, which is his pilot name, Twitch, sends, you know, he's like, dude, let's do this frame. Because we wanted to make a really cool build that was economical, not some $500 thing or whatever. And he sends me this frame off Amazon. I'm like, fuck no. I am not building one of these cheap ass. No, I'm not doing it. So I pulled down the Space One Aurora 5-inch. And he's like, bam, that's awesome, dude. Let's do that. So he pulled up, he ordered the stretched version of the Aurora 5, and I ordered the standard version of the Aurora 5. I said, okay, fine. So now what are we going to do? And he's like, well, let's put a price limit on it. We're not going to put a time limit on it because I work from home, so I can kind of split my time. It's like, you know, when I've got time or goofing around, whatever else, it's easier for me to do a build. And I build a lot of birds, so I do them pretty fast. So time wasn't the issue, and he's like, well, let's put a price limit on it. I said, okay, fine. So it was my suggestion, I believe. I said, let's do $250, not counting building materials and not counting a receiver, because receiver, you know, because you can pull a receiver out on a bird, not a big deal. So $250, not counting solder and, you know, crap like that. And so basically what's going to happen is when mine's already done. I've already done a complete build video on it, and it's finished. And he hasn't even gotten his parts all in yet. So, but he's going to finish his this week. And then after in the club we reveal them to our buddies, then I'm going to upload the build videos onto YouTube so all you guys can see it. It's a really, really sweet bird. Stupid fast. You want to build a race? Excuse me. You want to build a race bird? Follow my directions on this video coming up. And you'll be like, oh my God, this is insane. And it's $250. Now, I know there's a lot of channels out there that say, oh, you know, build a quad for $100. Yeah, well, no shit. You can build anything you can build a quad for $75, but build a nice one. Fuck that, you know, $7,500 crap. Yeah, that's fine if you're just getting into it. But if you want to build a stellar, high quality, nice frame, nice motors, race bird for $250, which is actually a really good price, and you'll see, new guys, you'll see this when you get into the hobby. $250 is not that much. You'll be like, oh my God, these birds are awesome. So to make it even more fun, when I'm done with my build, I'm sending it to Twitch and he's sending me his. So it's going to be really, really kind of fun. And I don't think we even have any statistics like whose looks better, whose is faster, whose is lighter, or whatever. We're just building them and seeing what comes out. And I think he's videoing his as well. So that's coming up. That's going to be really fun. Those videos, actually, they're already uploaded. I just have to change them to publicly listed, and you guys can see that. I've been getting a lot of interesting questions. For some strange reason, my channel draws a lot of new guys, and God help you, right? Because the guys in my club know, you know, I started this channel not to have 1 million subscribers, not to be a Bardwell, not to be any of these other guys. I started my channel for friends. A few of my friends wanted to see the shit I was doing that lived out of state, and that's the way my channel stays, hence the very unprofessional aspect of my channel. But anyway, you know, I get a few subscribers now, and I get a lot of these new guys that are coming in, and they ask me all these questions. They're like, you know, should we do this? Should we do that? Blah, 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 blah. So what we're going to do, and I'm just going to put this back together while we're sitting here talking. This is a Mocha, what is this thing? Fucking Mocha Light. Anyway, Griff Light, sorry. I'm just going to put this back together. So these guys ask me these questions. Well, JJ, what do you advise for this? And what do you advise for that? And all this other crap. So I'm going to get a couple things out in the open here. I'm going to do a little bit here on our rant. Advice for new guys, or FNGs is the case, as it were. And I can get into this fairly well, because when I first started into the hobby, I started building GPS drones, you know, high-end, not high-end, but I bought frames and motors, didn't know what the fuck I was doing. I have an electrical, you know, technological job, so I'm pretty well-versed that way, but I had no shit about quads. I don't care how good you are at soldering. I don't care how good you are at figuring computer shit out, which is what I've done my whole life. Quads are a whole different devil. You know, I didn't know what the hell I was doing. So I'm going to give you guys a little bit of advice, because I have been brought up the hard way. Because 4 years ago, when I started into quads, there really wasn't any good YouTube shit. Bardwell had some stuff out that was pretty good. Yes, I just gave him a compliment. That was before he got all cockstar and full of himself and started doing stupid shit. And UAV Futures, nah, he wasn't out yet. Who else did I watch? 360. I watched 360. He's great. And Bruce in, he's got XJet channel and RC model reviews. Fucking love Bruce. And we're going to talk about him in a minute. Anyway, so my advice for the new guys, and I started doing reviews on like Amazon and stuff, and I hate doing reviews. I really do. I turned down Banggood and I turned down GearBest this week because they asked me to do reviews for them on the channel. And I'm just not that dude. I'm not. Free stuff's all well and good, but if it's free, The only thing I buy, and I know I'm rambling, but the only thing that I buy from Banggood, and it is Banggood, not GearBest, is my VTX03s and my VTX02s. I buy them in bulk, and I buy them from the USA warehouse. Other than that, everything you see is bought. It's not made in the United States, but it's bought in the United States, if nothing else. So here's my advice for the new guys, and even maybe some of the old guys that aren't that are still kind of fucking around with things. I have built about every frame out there. I have built about every motor out there. Had quite a few radios, all this other stuff. The thing I advise to the new guys: do not go cheap on your frames, and that is probably the most appealing thing to do when you get in the hobby, because you think, oh, well, I'd rather buy good motors and buy this and buy that, and I'll just buy a $20 frame off fucking Amazon or Banggood. Trust me when I say it's better to spend $50 once on a good frame than $20 four times on a cheap piece of shit. And I've done it. When I first started into it, I bought a zillion frames off of Banggood. I bought the frog lights. Not that they're a bad frame or anything, but I bought the frogs, and I bought the stands, and I bought the whatever. And I bought shit off Amazon, because I didn't know any better. And they were okay, but here's the lethal combination. You got a new guy who doesn't know how to fucking fly, and you've got a cheap frame. Bad voodoo. You don't want to do that. My advice, I'm going to sum this up. The two things you want to spend money on: motors and frame. Period. Okay? And I know I'm going to catch a lot of flack for this, but trust me when I say a fucking flight controller nowadays, guys, is a flight controller. I've used them all. I've used the Helios Spring. I've used the Fortinis. I've used every omnibus known to man. I've used cicadas. I've used, you name it. I use flight controller all the way back to CC3D. I've used them all. And an F3 flies like a fucking F3, and an F4 flies like an F4, which are pretty much the same, and an F7 is more of a pain in the ass, and it's worth in most cases. I can pull them out of the drawer right now. I can show you. Let's see. What do we got? There's a Helios Spring. Here's a Maytech that I'm using for a drone because it has a barometer on it. Here is a Dal RC F405, which actually looks like a nice little box that my brother Arby gave me. And then there's like, I don't know. Here, there's a few more. Okay, I don't even know. Whatever. Fuck it. Flight controller's a flight controller. Unless you're using some real piece of shit, you're okay. ESCs, same principle. My main ESC right now, my main 4-in-1 ESC, and I've used them all. I've used the really good shit. I've used the cheap shit. My main 4-in-1 ESC right now, believe it or not, is the Racer Star 30th anniversary 35 amp BL Heli S 4-in-1. It's $30. I have not blown one yet. I've got like 5 of them, and I use the Speedix ones. I have Lumineers. I have all-in-one other things. I couldn't even name them all that I've got. I've tried them all. You guys have seen my DVR. I have almost zero noise. I mean, reception issues here and there, but that's due to environment, whatever else. But as far as noise goes, I do not have noise issues. This is a nice little bird. This is the, got a Helios Spring in it, 35 amp BL Heli S, 30th anniversary, Racer Star in it, and it's got that funky VTX. But I'm telling you right now, guys, pretty much the way the technology is now. When I started into it, you had, what ESCs did we use back then? The fucking things you had to calibrate and all that. So Simon K. You had Simon K and you had BL Heli. Then you had BL Heli S. Then you had BL Heli 32 and whatever. And it did make a difference back then. But now the technology has gotten to the point where pretty much, as long as it's low noise, you're good. Okay, I don't use bullets a lot. I think I only have one bird left with bullet ESCs on it, and that is this guy, which is my number 2 headhunter. And he's got HGLRC 30 amp or 28 amp, whatever they are. And this got my hype trains on. This is a bad bird. I love this fucking bird. But anyway, I think that's the only one that I've got. Yeah, I'm looking at the wall right now. It's the only one I have bullets on. Fuck it. Buy a good 4-in-1 ESC. Bam. Buy a decent flight controller. They all fly the same. It's not the flight controller. That's the big myth. It's the firmware and it's the setup. Butterfly, Betaflight, whatever you're using, trust me when I say, especially, this is for the new guys. This isn't, ooh, there's thunder. This is not for the guys that are on their 600th bird and they're doing all this crazy, you know, stuff. This is for the new guys, all right? Spend your money on your frame and spend your money on your motors. Okay, I've got some of these from the old day. You guys remember these? Hang on. These fucking Racer Star things. Look at that thing. 2205 Racer Star, whatever the hell this is. 2300, 2600, whatever it is. It's actually a good motor for the money, but the shafts bend really easy because they're aluminum shafts. Crap. CPL 2205 Cobras, great motors, love them. Not a whole lot of ass to them, but they're great motors. I'm not saying go out there and buy Engineer X 2307 2700 kV Brother Hobbies for $110. I'm not saying that. I'm saying don't buy just cheap $3 fucking motors and a cheap $3 frame. Invest in your frame, invest in your motors, and the rest of it, just wing it. I'm telling you right now, because a good motor is going to last and a good frame is going to last. Bam. That is the biggest piece of building advice I can give you. The other thing for the new guys, because I get this question a lot too, which really strikes me because I am the most anti pre-built quad guy on earth. I despise pre-built quads. And there's a reason for it. One, you're paying somebody else to build it. Now, for those of you that don't have the skills to build one, that's fair enough. I always said in my old videos, your first quadcopter should be a pre-built. Period. Even if you're an electronics guru, you know, I started in electronics at 10 years old building guitar amps and things like that. Even, yeah, well, my first quad wasn't, it was technically a pre-built. It was one of those hobby store $30 fucking things that ended up in the end costing about $400,000 because I'm JJ Rotogeek. But anyway, you're paying somebody else to build it. There's a certain satisfaction that you can get for building your own bird, and it is exceptionally fucking frustrating. Don't get me wrong. This hobby is the best thing and the worst thing ever. The guys in my club, we talk every single day on our chat, and these fucking guys, all they do, sorry, I was hearing something weird. All these guys do, all we do is talk quads, build quads, whatever else. And it's frustrating as shit. We all have problems, even me, you know, we all have these issues. But here's the trick. If you take, let's take a couple birds here. Here's two Mocha Griff lights. These are both reasonably high-end birds, right? We got the F60 Pro 2 motors. This one's got an Omnibus F7 gel, and it's got blah, 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 blah. This one I just said had the Helios spring and blah, 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 blah. Or we could go to the Jadina Candy build that you guys may have seen the build video. What would this, let's use this bird as an example. Or even the Campfire. Okay, here's one of my favorite birds. Because you guys are like, fucking Mocha. All you ever talk about is Mocha. Here's one of my favorite birds. This is my Campfire Stretched X with my Wild Willie 2500s on it, right? Hydro dipped, you know, built, blah, blah, blah. Very nice bird. What would this cost you pre-built? What do you think? You know, if you bought this, which you can't buy anything this fucking cool pre-built, in my opinion. With the performance that this thing has a Helios spring in it, 35 amp BL Heli 32 ESC, Wild Willie's 2500 kV motors, Foxeer. This one's got the Micro Predator in it, if I remember right. Far View Pagoda antenna. What would this cost you to build or to buy pre-built? $500 bucks, probably. I built this for under $3. right? So here's what, there's so much stuff on the internet now. This is my piece of advice for what it's worth to new guys. Even if you don't know how to fucking solder, even if you don't know a bunch of shit about electronics, there is so much information and resources on the internet right now that even if you've never picked up a soldering iron in your life, bam, you can do it. You can talk to the JJ Roto Geeks of the world, or you can talk to these other builders and whoever they are, and get this shit figured out. If you think about it, if you take this bird right here, which is a very mecha bird, this has got the 2700 kV Wild Willies on it, Mocha Jadina frame, which is not cheap. Everything on this thing's pretty high end, right? You build this for $300, bam, okay, fine. You buy it, it's gonna be $500. But think about building it. You build it for $300, you just save $200. Hang on, smoking hot wife interruption. Are we here? Oh, smoking hot cute kid, hang on. Sorry, I thought that was the smoking hot wife and it was a smoking cute kid. So anyway, we got a nasty storm brewing out there. Anyway, think about this. Like I was saying, this might cost you $500 to buy pre-built. If you could even buy it, which you can't. You cannot buy this pre-built unless you talk to me. And I could build you one and I still wouldn't charge you $500. But anyway, that's not the point. If you were to go out and buy a pre-built whatever the hell, and you could save that $200. Take that $200 and you can literally buy every single tool that you need to build that bird and still have money left over. Because the building tools are very simple for the stuff that you need for this. And I did a video on building tools for quads a while back. And then you get the satisfaction of learning something new. The build is half the fun. The learning is half the fun. The community is half the fun. And that brings me to my next thing. So to my new guys out there, buy your first pre-built. Buy it from a JJ Roto Geek if you want, or buy it from, I think Drone Mesh is doing builds, and whatever the case may be. Buy them from your brother that lives next door. It's all good. But your next bird, build it yourself. Give it a shot. You've got a hell of a community out here that will back you up and help you do all this stuff. So I really encourage you, especially if you're watching my channel, because my channel is nothing but building and nothing but modifying. So I really encourage you to do that. The community out here is phenomenal. It really is. And I know I bag on people here and there. I bag on Bardwell all the time, and I've been pretty good with him lately. That's just because I've been ignoring him. But even he has made a huge contribution back in the day when he was worth a damn watching. Great on Betaflight. Don't follow his build videos, but he's great on Betaflight. Great on PID tunings. He's very good with that. And all these other guys that are phenomenal. UAV Futures, he's a great reviewer of gear and things like that. And it's a great community. Get involved. And you meet so many amazing people. I have met the best friends I've ever had in my life, which are the guys in the club. Shiloh and Warlock and Explicit and Wes, which is FPV Fanatic, and Space, very dear friends. And Demi, you all know who you are. I can't name you all. And if you shut down right now, if I said, fuck the channel, fuck this, fuck that, even if I stopped flying quads, I would still hang out with my guys in the club. Because we just have this great camaraderie, and our anchor point is quads and electronics and things and learning and fucking up, which is half the fun. But even if we didn't do that, we would still hang out. And we're going to try to get together once a year, I think is the plan, physically. Because I got people all over the world, man. I got people in Scotland. I've got people in the UK, in Europe, or England, I should say. I've got people in every fucking state, that I talk to. And, Patriot Blades is a club. We're going to try to get like an annual thing together every year. And the people you meet, we just help each other out. And people are so generous. And I hope I help them out as much as they do me. I send them stuff. They send me stuff. It's like, hey, JJ, by the way, tomorrow you're getting a case full of crap. Okay, cool. And by the way, you're getting a case full of crap too. It's just how we work. It's very awesome. Very, very cool. So to the new guys, I do thoroughly recommend get involved. Get into building. It is satisfying. You got multiple realms. On those rainy days when you can't fly, you can build, or you can repair if you're like me. I bring out 5 birds. I come back with 2 that work, usually, even if then. Absolutely phenomenal. So if you can, please do that. But on the other stroke of that, and I know this is a rant and I'm all over the fucking place and I don't care. I haven't talked to you guys in a while. The other side of that, you meet some real fucking Marys in this hobby too. You know, people like you just heard me ranting about, oh, you meet the greatest people in the world in quads. That's not necessarily true. I've met a few cunts too, and you know, I'm sure I'll get in trouble for cussing too much or whatever the fuck it is. I don't care. If you don't like the way I talk, don't watch. If you don't like my opinions, don't watch. If you don't like the builds I do, don't watch. There's a billion people out there doing boneheaded reviews that people sleep through. Go watch their shit. I am not going to ever be that guy who loves everybody just for the sake of fucking loving everybody. I know that's a bad Christian attitude to have. I get it. I'm not perfect. I'm really not. But I had a guy the other day, and I'm going to wrap this up here because I've been droning on, but a guy the other day who said something. Do you guys remember that video I did? It was on a Monday morning, and I was just sitting at my desk, and I was really bored. So I took a helicopter crash off of YouTube. Just this helicopter is trying to land, and I copied it, you know, I downloaded it, and then I put up a little teaser thing that had a picture of Joshua Bardwell and his flight controller, and the title was, it was clickbait, but the title was, I'm having problems with my Joshua Bardwell flight controller, please help. And then you clicked on it and the helicopter crashed. I thought it was really funny, and like 75 people commented on that video saying that was the most hysterical thing they ever saw, or on a Monday anyway. And this butt dart texts me, literally sends me a message like, yes, I don't know, 4 or 5 days ago, maybe last week. And he's like, he starts in on me. He's just giving me a new ass, right? He's just like, you're just a fucking, what did he call me? Insecure, and that I was jealous of Bardwell and all these things. And Bardwell has his own flight controller. And what am I? I'm just one of those fuckers buying somebody else's flight controllers. Who am I? And I just thought it was hilarious. I sat back and I laughed. And I don't remember the guy's name. Doesn't matter. And I thought, yeah, I do buy other people's flight controllers. I don't have my own flight controller, nor do I really need or want one. I do have my own frame, by the way, though. And I was going to respond to this guy, and I never did. But I thought, here's a Mocha JJ, right? Mocha and I designed this together. And it's a phenomenal frame. It is the fastest 3-inch you'll ever fly. And I get zero out of it. I get no money. I get no cuts or whatever else. My buddy at Mocha just gave it Mocha JJ name to be cool to me because I'm his friend. You know, there's no monetary anything involved. And I thought, yeah, you know, I do just buy other people's flight controllers. I wouldn't buy a Bardwell. I wouldn't use one if it was free. But, so if you're using that kind of logic, Bardwell's buying everybody else's frame. He doesn't have his own frame, and I've got my own. Doesn't that even us out? And I'm just joking. I don't give a fuck. It's like, really? This dude just goes fucking postal on me. And I thought it wasn't a bad video. It wasn't like I'm bashing Joshua Bardwell. It was just a funny little thing. Josh, if he saw it, probably laughed. He's like, oh, there's a helicopter crashing, and it's pretending it's got my flight controller. I'm sure he shrugged it off. No big deal, if he even saw it. And this dude just fucking goes nuts. And that is the problem with the fucking world today. It's just nothing but cradle school. Nobody is allowed to have their own opinion if it hurts somebody's feelings. It's absolute fucking crap. It's like, if it used to be back in the day, somebody could come up to me, and it still happens. They could come up to me and be like, dude, you're a fucking dick. And I'm like, yeah, so are you cunt. You know, and we'd go have a drink. I'm a guitar player and a motorcycle guy and a traveling robotics engineer. Trust me, I meet a lot of people. And it'd be like, you know, I get in throwdowns at bike rallies. You know, your fucking Indian sucks, dude. Well, I have an Indian. Oh, your fucking Harley sucks. We get into a throwdown. We go have a drink. You know, no big deal. But now it's like, oh my God, you said something bad about somebody that I don't even know, but I'm going to get pissed off at you. That is what's wrong with the fucking world today. I don't get it. I don't understand why you can't have an opinion anymore. And it's like, and YouTube's bullshit. I mean, YouTube's not real. I mean, it's just people making home fucking videos. It's, you know, whatever. And people just get so obstinate about it. They're just like, oh my God, you said something about Princess Leia or, you know, whoever, Bardwell or whatever. Really? But if my opinion was the same as his, if I would have said, Bardwell's flight controller is the best thing since sliced bread. Mind you, this guy's probably going to try a Bardwell flight controller. And it may be. I don't know. It was just, I just thought it was a funny joke. If I would have had the same opinion as him, it would have been fine. But because I had a different opinion of him, oh my God. Well, fuck Moses part the seas, man. I mean, forget about it. It's just fucking terrible. That is what's wrong. That is the fundamental thing that is wrong with the world. Not just our country, and our country is full of it. USA is fucked. But trust me, the fundamental problem with the world today is people being stuck in their fucking little bubbles and their envelopes of me. And it's like, really? Get the fuck over it. If you call me a cunt, I'll probably be like, yeah, I am being kind of a dick today. I've literally done that. I've had my boss say, dude, you're being an ass. What's your fucking problem? And we're like, yeah, you're right. I need a fucking pill. You know, take a Midol or something, you know? Everybody just takes everything to the nth fucking degree, and it drives me insane. Why can't people just have a different opinion and get along? My brother in Oklahoma, Arby, he and I love the guy. He's like, we were like separated at birth, but there's a difference in our ages by 30 years, right? And we get along awesome. We talk all the time, but we have very different opinions on certain things. Very different. Different beliefs in certain things and whatever else. And we've had great debates about it. And we're fine. It's like, no, dude, I think we're just going to agree to disagree. I think you're full of shit. And he'll say the same thing to me. And it's like, okay, well, cool. How'd you like the motors? You know, we just move on. Why can't the world fucking move on? Why can't... And I'm not just talking about these pussy-ass Joshua Bardwell cult people. It's not just them. It's any of them. And my people are just as bad. If somebody says something mean to me, my people jump all over them. It's like, no. Don't jump all over them. Fuck it. Everybody can have their opinion. If you think I cuss too much, call me a fucking turd. You think I drink too much? Call me an alcoholic. Do whatever you want. Turn off the fucking channel. I respect your opinion. I've literally had people bag on me and be like, dude, boom, thanks for your opinion. I don't give a shit. Go somewhere else, but thanks. I don't care. Why? When did we get so fundamentally involved in our own little worlds that we just can't see past our fucking noses? It just, it drives me nuts. And that's what I'm hoping this hobby can do, that we can, and guys in my club, we have disputes all the time. We talk every single fucking day without fail. And at all hours of the day, from 5 a.m. to 5 a.m., all day long, we talk on our chat room thing. And we have differences of opinions. I absolutely despise the rooster frame. I fucking hate it. It's one of the rooster and what's the other one? That Armaton, Chameleon. It's not the fact that it's not a well-made frame. It's a very well-made frame. I just don't like the style. That's all there is to it. It's a great frame. It's worth every bit of $100. It's made very well. I just think it's shave your ass, walk backwards ugly. I just fucking do. And look, my buddy sent me one to build for him. And I'm going to do it because I love my buddy. But we have these differences of opinions. We had like this rooster attack in the club where like 5 guys were building it. And I was bashing the shit out of all of them. Like, you know, rooster's a bird that can't fly, you dumbasses. And we're just jabbing the shit out of each other. And they jab me. You know, it's like, okay, Mr. Mocha, you know, whatever. It's good. It's fine. Roll it off and move on. That's what the entire world needs to do with everything, not just quads. It's not just the quad community. And I have to admit, the quad community isn't quite as bad as the rest of the world. But, you know, guys, lighten the fuck up. If I say something shitty about something, say something shitty back, but have a joke. Have fun with it. Fuck. Stop taking shit so seriously. That's my rant. It's a ramble. It's bullshit. Sorry I sucked up your time. But anyway, I haven't talked to you guys in a while. Have a great week, and I'll talk to you tomorrow. Take care.
Bam, JJ! Hope you like fishing. Bam, JJ! Hey, JJ! Hope you like fishing.